One play, two linebackers. One makes the play, the other one doesn't. What's the difference? The two-step read. Let's take a look. Okay, here we go. It's week 4, Cowboys versus Giants. Giants have the ball at 2nd down and 5. All right, what we're going to look at here is we're going to look at the difference between DeMarvion Overshown, okay, this linebacker right here, and Eric Kendricks, this linebacker right here. And we're going to show why the two-step read is the superior technique. All right, so here we go. First thing we need to know, as we already talked about, is the situation. It's 2nd down and 5. All right, the Giants look to be in, there's one tight end there, there's one tight end there, there's one running back. So that's one running back, 2 tight ends, that's 12 personnel. So we're in 12 personnel, and the Giants formationally are in, actually they're in a pro formation, okay? This is typically called pro formation, where there's a Z receiver here, the tight end who's the Y, and the X receiver over here. All right, but there's a little more to it than that. This is a cut split up here. This is a cut split down here. So we could say pro cut. I would call this from left to right, cut on 21 cut. Cut because this receiver is cut, on because the tight end is on here, 2 because there are 2 receivers to this side of the ball, and then 1 because there's 1 receiver to this side, and then cut because he's cut. So again, cut on 21 cut. Backfield set is separate from formation. All right, the backfield set in this case is gun because the quarterback's in shotgun. All right, we name the quarterback's position first, so that's gun. Then the fullback, in this case, the tight end, who is a fullback, is over because he's offset to the tight end. The tailback is offset away, so he's far. Okay, so this would be gun over far. All right, so now what we need to know is what are the Cowboys in? So the Cowboys are in an 8-man front. All right, you can see there's a single high safety here. I believe they're in man coverage. But what we're going to take a look at here is actually the reads by the 2 inside linebackers. So this is DeMarvion Overshown, 13, and Eric Kendricks, number 50. They're both good linebackers in their own right, for different reasons. Overshown is extremely active. Kendricks is more of a disciplined guy. And on this play, we're actually going to see that that's the opposite. This time, Overshown gets the right read, ends up in the right place, makes the play, and Kendricks ends up on the wrong side of the ball. Let's take a look. All right. So the two-step read works like this. Our first step is going to be with our initial read, okay, our initial key. In this case, the initial key should be the fullback, number 82 here. He's a tight end, but he's in a fullback position. Anytime we have a fullback in the backfield, we're going to use him as our initial read, okay, our initial key. All right, so the key is the person that we're looking at. The read is what he does that tells us what to do next. All right, so right now we're going to watch 82. All right. If we watch 82, he goes to our right. Okay. So as we're looking at it, to the left. So both linebackers should step in this direction, right? To their right, the offense is left. All right. As you take that step, the second part of the read is your eyes snap over to this side of the offensive line. So this is what we call the flow side of the line. It's the flow side because that's the side that our initial key stepped to originally. So 82 steps this way, our eyes go over here. All right. Before we even have to take another step, okay, we've taken one step, our eyes over here, we should have an indication of whether or not we get confirmation or contradiction. All right. Contradiction means that someone from this side of the line is pulling back across behind the line of scrimmage across the ball. All right. That would be a contradiction. In that case, we honor the contradiction. So the next step we should take is to our left, or from this perspective to the right. So Overshown, you'll see he sees his initial key goes to his right. He shuffles to the right. His eyes go out and see the contradiction. He honors the contradiction, and he comes back to the left, just like that. Ends up in the right place inside that puller, makes the tackle. Boom. All right. Now, if we go back and watch Kendricks, okay, let's watch Kendricks on this play. All right. He sees the fullback come over here, right? But he never sees the contradiction, so he never works his way back over here. And as a result, you're going to see this A gap is wide open. Watch this A gap here between 61 and 74. No one is filling that gap, right? I mean, some of these bodies end up in that gap, but the person responsible for that gap should be Kendricks, okay? He should end up right through here, okay, after he's gotten the second part of that read. So again, that's a step with 82. Eyes go to the flow side, honor the contradiction, step back to the left, all right? In this case, Kendricks just misses the puller or gets locked in on his guy and sort of misses key information on this play. But Overshown does this just right, ends up making a big play. And that's how the two-part read works. Till next time.